Treasurer's recommendations and report. Mrs. Lane?
Mr. Birding, members of the board, I have for your consideration tonight the following items. Letter A is recommend approval of the minutes of the November 21st, 2019 regular meeting. Letter B is recommend approval of the financial reports for the month of November 2019. Letter C is recommend approval of the 2019-2020 amended appropriations resolution. Letter D is recommend approval of the following donations. We received a donation of classroom supplies valued at $135 from Ruthie Back to Fairfield North Elementary School. Our second donation is $250 from Belcan LLC to Fairfield High School for the STEM Careers Lunch and Learn series. Our third donation is from Mrs. Belina Shorter in the amount of $300 to Fairfield High School for the STEM Career Lunch and Learn series. And our last donation tonight is $150 from Envision Partnerships to Fairfield City Schools to be used for the mental health series. Total donations for 2019 are at $88,175.92. Letter E is recommend approval of the disposal of fixed assets as listed. Letter F is recommend approval that the board adopt the following resolution for declaring transportation to be impractical. I'd like to waive the reading of that.
You may skip it.
Thank you. Letter G is recommend approval to authorize the treasurer to pay invoices against the following purchase orders that have not been processed in accordance with Section 5705.41D. Our first purchase order is to RBC Capital Markets for our bond issue cost, and that was my fault, to be honest with you. We had a little confusion under who was paying what cost and at what time. So the invoice came in before the purchase order was done, so that's my fault. Second purchase order was for Bless Sales and Service, and that was a purchase order that had to be canceled and then reissued because of a different vendor under Blessed. So that's the reason that is on the agenda tonight for approval. Letter H is recommend approval of the fund transfer as listed. Letter I is establish the date of the tax budget hearing to be held on January 9th, 2020 at 1 p.m. at the Fairfield Administration Building, 4641 Bach Lane. And that concludes my items tonight.
Thank you, Mrs. Lane. At this time, I will entertain a motion to accept the recommendations.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? I just want to thank Mrs. Shorter for the donation, and also I'm sure that she helped procure the $250 as well.
Thanks, Bill.
So it's very nice. I do have a question. When we do the total donations, Mrs. Lane, if we accept any donations from today to the end of the year, and then we approve them in January, does that get added to the total, or is it
I add
when we
it to
approve
next,
it?
when we approve it.
When we approve it?
And Mr. Martin is very upset we didn't reach $100,000 this year, just so
Oh,
you know.
wow.
So we're hoping next year to reach that goal.
We did last year.
Well, I could table the motion if he wants to write a check for 11th.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Hearing nothing else, Mrs. Lane, will you call the roll on that, please?
Mrs. Gundram?
Yes.
Mr. Begley?
Yes.
Mr. Birding?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mrs. Shorter?
Yes.
Motion passes.